Alright, let's get it. Let's get it. We got fucking week 7 recap. We're going week 8 predictions. I'm currently on break at work right now, so I am going to try to do this as fast as possible because I need a fucking nap before I go, and it's going to be busy tonight. If I'm going to be serving steaks the best way possible, I got to get some more sleep. But I'm trying to bring the energy to this podcast. I'm feeling great. My team is doing wonderful right now. I'm so happy with how they've been performing. But we got a lot of really great teams in this league this year. And, I mean, we got 4 teams that are 5-2, and then we got Crew, who's 6-1. And then we got Jace coming up 4-3, and his team's starting to look really good now. So running backs are playing out of this world. Justin Herbert's playing well, so his team's looking very scary. But still getting over a sickness, so I might cough a lot in this podcast. So I apologize for that. But hey, I don't know if y'all have been dealing with sicknesses too, but this shit's been killing me. These allergies, virus, I don't know what the fuck it is, but it sucks. So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and get this week 7 recap started. Let's start with Seth and Carson. So Seth got a big dub this week. Absolutely got carried by Joe Burrow. Player of the week for him. Joe Burrow had an absolute monster game. Joe Burrow is looking like one of the best fantasy QBs now with how he's been performing the last couple weeks. So, big time performance for Joe Burrow. That's big for Seth's team. If he continues to play like this, I mean, he's going to be up there with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, 3 best QBs available. So, other than that, Jonathan Taylor, Breece Hall both had decent outings, but really hurts him. Breece Hall is out for the year. So Tony Pollard's going to have to be that fill-in spot now that he's going to have to use, which is unfortunate. But Tony Pollard's still a solid option. It kind of sucks that he's sharing that he's not the touchdown back, but he's going to be putting up a lot of yards certain games. So, but hopefully Jonathan Taylor will start performing better. He's been kind of having a down year, but sucks that Amon-Ra St. Brown got hurt for him too. I don't know if he's going to come back next week or not. Questionable, so we'll see what happens with that. Tyreek Hill did all right. George Kittle had a great game. T. Higgins did all right. So, yeah, what a great performance for Seth. Carson's team just did not perform the way they should have. And it doesn't really help that Joe Burrow put up almost 50 points, so it's kind of hard to come back to. Dak Prescott was 16, Elliott was 17, Pittman, Juju with 21. Juju with 21 did really well. Probably the MVP for your team this week. But other than that, it didn't help that Justin Jefferson was on bye week, so that hurt you as well. Looking like a big dub for Seth, so now he puts Carson at 5-2. So welcome to the 5-2 squad, Carson. We'll go ahead and go to the next matchup here. We got Team Burt and Jalen Waddle and meet. So I predicted this game right. I thought Connor was going to come in strong and get the upset, and he did, and he got a big margin on Burt too. So I just really liked all of his matchups he had, and all of his players performed well. Kenneth Walker's been such an amazing waiver pickup and has just shown out for the Seahawks since he started playing. So 28.8, that's your MVP. Austin Eckler could be your MVP too, but just because Kenneth Walker came out of nowhere putting up 28, got to take that. But great week for your team. It's 2 in a row, Connor. You're starting to pick up some slack from your team starting 0-5. So let's go. Let's see how much longer you can keep it going. Bert's team just didn't really get any production out of the flex, the tight end. I mean, Fournette sucked. Very interesting situation with Tampa Bay right now, too. How about that shit? I mean, Tom Brady's looking old. I mean, that's what happens when you have a defensive coach. I feel like defensive coaches just aren't the move in the NFL anymore. You got to go with offensive coaches now. That's where you see the majority of success in our league now is offensive coaches. So once you go to a defensive coach, it really doesn't make your team look any much better, even worse. So MVP for you, Bert, was probably Hopkins. Good to see Hopkins come back and have a strong performance, so that's good for you. It's very big to have him back in your lineup, so he'll definitely help you out. Now, 2-5 for Connor and 5-2 for Bert. So Bert with 2 straight losses now. So let's hope that he doesn't end up being a fraud. Everyone thinks you're going to be a fraud, Bert. You got to start getting some more dubs because you're welcome to the 5-2 club now. So, anyways, we'll go back to the next matchup. We got Crew and Jack. So, unfortunate week for Jack once again. I mean, it's not like you don't have great players. Like you do have great players, and you have some really good upside coming with Travis Etienne. He's going to be the top back in Jacksonville now, so that'll help your team out some. But you're not looking good at QB. Jared Goff is starting to play like shit. Debo and DK are just not performing to what they should be, which is crazy. They both had such horrible games. But DK did get hurt, so that kind of sucks. But, I mean, this just doesn't help you, man, and not having a deep bench. Oh, man, yeah, I feel like I would have probably started Daniel Jones over Goff. Honestly, I probably would have, just because, yeah, Goff might have been projected more, but his matchup was tougher. So I would have probably went Daniel Jones, to be honest with you. Daniel Jones is having a strong outing this year. But numbers-wise, I see why you started Goff. So, but yeah, anyways, we'll go to Dub's team real quick. Such a nasty team. I mean, Mahomes has just performed out of his mind. Mostert, Terry McLaurin, Valdez-Scantling, Travis Kelce. It's crazy because he didn't have his 2 top receivers on the week, too. Gabe Davis and Cooper Kupp. I mean, the team is just absolute monster, man. The team's fucking nice. So, and then you got Cordell Patterson on IR. I don't know when he's coming back, but yeah. 6-1 for Crew, man. He just blew him out of the water, 113-67. Jack, you're going to need to figure something out, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's panic mode at this point. All right. Orlando took these guys, team waiver wire. Gosh, this matchup was insane. Such a high-scoring outing. Obviously, being sarcastic. But, hey, Connor Tuck got the dub. He's 4-3 now. Good performance from Saquon, and George Pickens was your MVP. Came out and showed out for the Steelers, which is nice. But yeah, what a crazy week. Oh shit, I didn't even notice. He didn't even. Wow, he had his defense and his kicker on bye. And didn't even sub him in. Wow. What a really active player. Hell yeah, bro. Damn, Connor just like big dicked you, Bryce. That's crazy. But I mean, either way, it just sucks that you have no running backs other than Khalil Herbert and DeAndre Swift, which he might be coming back, but wide receivers aren't performing well. I mean, Gosh, I'm sorry, Bryce. You and Jack are really, really looking to press the panic mode button right now. Maybe y'all should put y'all's teams together. Maybe that would help y'all out more. I don't know. But no more slander. Hey, y'all will hopefully figure it out. I wish the best for y'all. Maybe y'all will get some more dubs. But all right, next up, Jason Kyle. All right, well, Jason's team is starting to look very strong. Like I said at the beginning of the video, he's starting to get some of his key players back, and his running backs are performing well. Josh Jacobs was your MVP this week, had an absolute monster game. So, yeah, Jason's won 120 to 89. Kyle with just not a good performance. Tyler Boyd was a great start for you. I like that you started him. He had a monster game. Other than that, you really had no other choice but to start who you started, and they just didn't perform. It just sucks. Sometimes your players just don't perform the way they should. So, but yeah, Tyler Boyd with the monster game. So, looking like a little bit of upside for him, but 3 receivers at the Bengals, they're all going to be sharing touches, or not touches, but targets. So, all right, next up, Andy and Dylan. Man, I was really high on Dylan's team the first couple weeks to start. His team looked amazing. He had really great beginning stats for his team, and I really thought that they would start showing out. Granted, he had 4 of his starters out. I mean, Adam Thielen I wouldn't classify as a starter for you, but you could put him in your flex spot. And, yeah, it's just unfortunate for that to happen, not having your top running back. But no excuses. Dylan's 3-4 now. I was honestly expecting him to be one of the 5-2 teams. But his team is just starting to underperform now. Andy, his team is actually starting to come along. He's starting to get some wins. Pretty solid outing from his squad. I mean, Titans defense really might have been your MVP of the week. They performed very well. Chris Olave, what a great pickup for you. I like that you did that trade because Olave is a solid wide receiver. So. And you needed that. So it really hurts that Jeff Wilson is one of your running backs. You don't really have another running back to fill in for him. McCaffrey's going to start taking all the touches. I mean, it's Christian McCaffrey unless he gets hurt. So definitely keep Jeff Wilson for handcuffs. But other than that, I mean, it is that just sucks for you. So, but great performance. He won 113 to 56. Absolutely blew him out of the water. Dylan's going to need to try to talk to his team and try to get them back together because they're right now they're just not performing how they should. They've had some really disappointing weeks, and you just lost Mike Williams, I think, for a couple weeks as well. So that sucks. That sucks a lot. All right, and then I'm going to do me and Chance's matchup this week. So I had Josh Allen on bye, my top fantasy player this year. So I did come in the week a little worried because I thought Chance's team would perform very well. And it's not like they didn't perform very well. They did pretty decent, but he just didn't get a lot out of his tight end. He didn't get a lot out of Lockett and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So that helped me a lot. And Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson did not play well. So that helped me out. Jamar Chase, for me, my MVP, had a monster game. And, Benjamin, great waiver pickup for me. Just to have someone in that flex spot. And he outperformed all of my players but McCall Hardman. I could have flexed McCall Hardman. Didn't think he would have 3 TDs, but solid outing for him. I actually like the way he's performing right now. So, but I got the dub, 141-93. I'm 5-2. Chance is 3-4. Another surprise for me too. Chance is the same way as Dylan. I thought Chance would be up there, be one of the 5 and be a higher ranked team as well. And now he's starting to put some losses together, and very unfortunate for Chance because I think he's got a really good team too, but maybe the wide receivers is what's hurting him mostly. Doesn't help that Stephon Diggs was out, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anything can happen. We're pretty much halfway through the regular season for fantasy, and then we'll get into the playoffs in the last couple of weeks of the regular season for the NFL. So, alrighty, let's get this projections over with. So, I'm gonna go ahead and start with Commissioner KD versus Sir Joe Punch-A-Lot. Pretty good matchup here. We're gonna see what KD does with some of his picks, see if some of them end up playing, like Lazard, James Conner. Might put Jamal Williams back in there. We'll see what happens. We'll weigh out your options, Kyle. Andy coming off a dub. He's getting Tua back in there. Chris Olave, CeeDee Lamb. Gonna probably have pretty big performances this week. I feel pretty confident about those two having a good week. Really, that's the key. Kyle, if you're wanting to pull a dub out, you're going to need another one of those Tyler Boyd performances. No doubt. Dak Prescott needs to play better too. See if he gets back in the flow of things. I don't really trust your running back, so I don't know if they're going to have big games or not. Who knows? But it would definitely help if they at least played decent. I got Andy this week. I think Andy gets the dub. Team just looks more solid. Better matchups overall too. Not easy matchups for both sides, but I do like Andy's chances more than Kyle, so I think Andy gets the dub this week. Next up, we got Dylan and Bryce. So, man, Bryce, I don't know, man. It's good that you got DeAndre Swift coming back, but you got all your team back basically, and you're still only projected 85. So, hey, I'm not gonna lie to you, Darnell Mooney. I would honestly. I don't know, though. It's very interesting you could maybe throw Paris Campbell in because he's had 2 solid back-to-back games. But Matt Ryan just got benched, and Sam Ehlinger's coming in now. So I don't know. That's an iffy pick. I would maybe put Campbell in over Darnell this week. I might. Maybe Sammy Watkins. I mean, you have so many wide receivers that could pop off at any moment. It's kind of hard for you to decide who to put at your flex. You just got so many options, so it really is a toss-up. But other than that, Dylan's going to probably win this week. He's got some key players coming back too. Mark Andrews is questionable. If he plays, that's big time. Michael Thomas might come back too, which is good because Mike Williams is going to probably be out for a little bit, so that'll help you. James Robinson. I might put James Robinson in. I don't know how they're going to fit him in. We'll see what happens with that. Maybe give it a week first and see how he fills out. But I got Dylan this week. Bryce, your team just does not speak any volume to me with their performances. I'm sorry, man. You've had players underperform this year that could have had better years. Their teams aren't performing well. like the Pittsburgh Steelers, like Chicago. Chicago had a great week last week, but Darnell Mooney didn't have a big game, which is because of the rushing attack. The Chicago likes running the ball more than passing, so that doesn't help. All right, I need to zoom through this. What time is it right now? 3:16. Yeah, I need to zoom through this. Okay. Next up is Jace and Connor Caliban. Just going to zoom through this real quick. Pretty good matchup. I mean, Connor's projected to win. Even though Jace doesn't have his QB in yet. So you got Justin Herbert on bye, so he's going to have to pick up someone from the waivers. Maybe Sam Ehlinger. Maybe, I don't know. There's going to be a couple options for you QB-wise to pick up. So whatever you think fits best for you. But yeah, overall, it's going to be a good matchup. I like the way both of these teams are. It's going to be a very even matchup. Really going to have to go down to the performances from the running backs here. See if Kenneth Walker has another big week for you, Connor. If he does, then your team's going to be hard to beat, man. Your team's going to be hard to beat every week. So I am going to go. Oh, my God, this one is tough, man. This is tough. I think I'm going to go with you again, Caliban. Connor Caliban again. I just think his team looks more solid this week. I think they look better. We'll see. Jace, I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough matchup for you. See if Mike Evans plays well. So I'll go with Connor Caliban again, man. I think I'm going to ride with you, bro. You have another good matchup that you can win, so let's go. Next up, Crew and Carson. This is a really good matchup right here. Carson's team, I think, is in full effect. He doesn't have anyone on bye other than Juju, so that kind of hurts. But this will be a really good matchup. I'm excited to see how this one plans out because Kelsey's on bye, Mahomes is on bye, and Scantling's. So you got yourselves a pretty close matchup here. Crew is not at full strength, so Carson could pull out a dub here. And both teams look pretty even in my book with the matchups and how everything looks. Flex-wise, Deontay Foreman isn't a bad option. I just don't know if I trust him with Chuba Hubbard back there as well. They're going to be sharing a lot of carries together. I would potentially maybe flex out Chase Claypool. But don't listen to me. Sometimes I'm wrong about my picks. But Deontay Foreman, he could have a big week. We'll see. We shall see. But my pick this week, I'm going to go with Carson. Carson, I think you're going to get the dub this week. I think that your team looks like they are going to perform well. That really is – it's going to be hard, though. It's going to be hard, though. I'm only saying it because I think that Justin Jefferson's going to have a monster game. I think Pittman is going to have a good game, too. So I really do think your wide receivers are going to show out this week and might outperform Cooper and Terry McLaurin. So I'll go with Carson this week. That might be a little bit of an underdog pick right there, but I think he's going to get the dub. So next up, we got Chance and Burt. I'm going to go with damn, this is going to be another close matchup, man. Burt. This is going to be another close matchup. So, yeah, I don't know. So, overall, I think this is going to go down to the QBs. Is Lamar Jackson going to have a big game against Tampa Bay this week? who knows? Tampa Bay's defense did not look good last week. Are they going to perform well against Lamar Jackson now? I don't know. I think Lamar Jackson's going to have a big game this week. Geno Smith's been playing out of his mind, and one of the most surprised QBs of the season, the biggest surprise. And they're playing the Giants, so that's going to be a great game to watch. I think that because Chance hasn't put a flex in yet, which he's going to probably flex Stephon, and his tight end's out, so he's got to fill a tight end in too. He's going to be projected to win, I believe, putting two fills in. I'm gonna have to go. I think Chance will win this week. Let's go, Chance. Bird's gonna move to 5-3. I think Chance got a dub. I just think his team looks better this week overall. So, next up we got Jack and Connor. I think with Jack and Connor Tuck that if Jack was going to have any week to win, I think it would be this one. Because now you got a strong ETN. The only problem is both of your wide receivers are questionable. If they don't end up playing, I think you're losing again this week, Jack, because if either one of them doesn't play, you're looking at you have really no one to fill in. It sucks. So I am gonna this pick is gonna be hard for me to say because of the injuries. I'm gonna go with Tuck this week. Tuck's got arguably the best running backs in the league. So I think Tuck gets a dub this week, man. But I think Jack's going to put up a fight if both of his wide receivers are in. Jack can pull it out. All right, and then me and Seth's matchup this week. So, matchup of the week right here, I think. Either me and him or Crew and Carson. But, yeah, this is going to be a hell of a matchup. I'm really looking forward to this. I think what really helps me out is that Breece Hall is out for the season for you. So you're going to put Tony Pollard in. It's going to be so close. Our matchup's going to be pretty even because I'm 56% right now, but you haven't put Tony Pollard in yet. So I know that's who you're going to start. So, gosh, this is going to be a hell of a matchup. I'm excited for it. I think just because I have some really tough matchups this week. You have a couple as well, but Tyreek Hill, I think, is going to have a monster game for you this week. I think it's going to go down to our wide receivers. I really do. And also, actually, really the QB play, too. Because Josh Allen's got a pretty tough game coming up. Joe Burrow's got a pretty tough game coming up. It's going to be interesting. I'm pretty intrigued to see how the QBs play. See if Joe Burrow can keep putting up some crazy numbers. I believe Josh Allen's still going to put up over 30, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. This is going to be a hell of a week, dude. I'm going to go with myself. I need this win. This will really solidify my chances of being the top team in this league if I get this dub. So I need to get this dub. I do. And I believe I will. So, but it's going to be close. It's going to be a hell of a matchup, and I'm ready for it. So, all right, boys, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Another about 30-minute podcast. So it was a pleasure doing this once again. I will try to do this every week as possible unless someone else wants to do it every week. But I'm going to keep it strong. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what I can do better as well, because I definitely want to do better in these podcasts. Want to make them more entertaining, maybe do a couple different ways of approaching it instead of just doing a Week 7 recap, Week 8 projection. maybe I can do other things like I don't know. There's just maybe just some power rankings like Carson does, or we could also do like what can improve teams. Maybe I could come around and look at each team individually and be like, this is where you need to improve to be better, stuff like that, just to give you my in-depth advice. So that's how it is. So yeah, we'll be back next week, boys. So SGS Fantasy Pod out.